Hello, good afternoon, everybody. I'm just inviting Caroline, the Divorce Rock, to be talking about the actual physical symptoms of going through a divorce or a breakup. So we talk a lot about the emotions, but we don't talk as much about the physical symptoms of divorce. So that's what we're going to talk to you about today. And here's Caroline. Hi, Caroline. I'm great, thank
Hi
you. How are you?
Natalie, how are you?
I was just
Yeah, very well,
introducing
thank
the topic
you.
for today. We're going to be talking about the physical
Yeah,
symptoms of going through a divorce and how we don't always expect them or recognize them. Um, so we only have
yeah,
15 minutes, so I just thought we'd dive straight in. Were there any physical
yeah.
symptoms when you went through your breakup? Were there physical symptoms that impacted you?
Massively, massively. I mean, I think I learned for the first time why they call it heartbreak, because I actually had physical pain in my chest. I remember going around saying to people, it hurts, it hurts. It was weird. It wasn't the kind of pain you'd take a paracetamol for, but it was just this ache, stomach ache, twitchy eyes, like when you're really stressed, and headaches, and night sweats. So it was like, and actually, you might say, well, that's because of perimenopause and stuff. But actually, I have a male friend who had exactly those. He said he used to spend all his time at John Lewis buying new sheets. I'm not really sure why he didn't wash the ones he had, but it's not just a problem for women. So yeah, loads and loads of physical symptoms
Yeah.
that I hadn't
No, it was exactly
anticipated
the
at
same
all.
for me. I think the permanent stomach ache, it's almost like a mixture of
Mm.
anxiety, worry, uncertainty that just balls up inside your stomach. I think I just had that permanently for 18 months. It also gives you the physical
Mm.
symptoms of a tummy bug at the same time. So it's,
Yeah,
you don't think that going through something emotional might cause those problems, but they really do. Um,
yeah. And I think it's compounded if you have sleep issues as well, because I was getting terrible nightmares, so that every night I was going through the horrible time again and again, and so I became almost scared to go to sleep, so I started not sleeping, and then obviously you're shattered in the day, so you get all of the fatigue as well. That's all the other things that I now know how important sleep is for the body and for the well-being, and I was depriving myself of that at
yeah,
probably
I
the
think
worst, the time when I needed
for
it the
me,
most.
I could get to sleep okay, but I'd wake up at 5 a.m. every single day. I didn't have nightmares, but I did have very vivid dreams. And I'd wake up, do you know,
Right.
and you wake up and you think, I don't know if that actually happened, if that was real or. Uh,
Yeah.
but for a very long
Yeah.
time, I woke up at 5 o'clock and I'd not be able to go back to sleep. I'd go on my phone and then I'd fall back to sleep and then I'd be completely dead to the world until 10 or 11 o'clock. So it sort of pushed my sleep cycle in the wrong direction. Like you say, that has a knock on
Yeah.
effect with other things. I think I've got a lot of memory
Yeah.
problems, a lot of things focused on.
Yes.
And I don't
Focus.
think the
Yeah.
tiredness caused that. I think it was the grief, but it definitely had an effect and an impact upon it.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, loads of physical, debilitating physical symptoms alongside obviously the emotional and mental stress. So it makes it hard to cope.
Well, one
What
of
did
the
you
things
do
that
to
I
get
did
over
really
it?
suffer with was neck stiffness. So I didn't really align that to the pain, and it wasn't until I went for a sports massage that the gentleman doing the massage said, like, "Are you physically tense?" And I thought to myself, well, actually, I'm a ball of tension all the time. And this is what's causing it because
Yeah.
you tense your muscles for so long. Um, and then obviously with your neck, you can get
Yeah.
headaches and things. Um, but I have always done yoga. I've done yoga for quite a long time, and I found that
Yeah.
really, really helped. It helps with the
Mm.
meditation and the breathing side, but also the stretching, the physical side really helped to improve a lot of those symptoms.
Mm. Mm. So that was a
It
positive
was,
positive
yes.
coping strategy.
No,
all of yours is
no,
positive
no.
stuff.
I drank a lot. Did a lot. I
Yes,
went out a lot,
so did I.
and I sort of dated a lot. I think I needed to prove to myself that I had some worth still. So it's quite an unhealthy way of going about that. It's not something I'd advise. It was something I did before I did my training. Um, and I
Yeah.
think those sorts of negative coping mechanisms, they just put off the pain, they just put off all that grief. So really what you're doing is prolonging the healing process. I don't know how you found that.
Yeah. I think it's two things, isn't it? You're trying to numb the pain, which I did through wine. And I'm really glad I'm not a smoker, because I'm sure I would have been doing that. But so for me, it was wine and chocolate. And then you either try and numb the pain, or you try and kind of, like you say, build up your self-esteem through dating or through other things like that. Or, you know, in my case, maybe slightly more positive in terms of, I sort of started
Yeah,
to take a bit more care of my appearance. To try and, really, it was to try
yeah.
and boost myself rather than to particularly kind of win anyone over or anything. But so yeah, got my hair done, and went through a bit of a bad spell for buying
No,
dresses, just which I never wore. So maybe like a bit of a shopping addiction thing, which
no,
was not
but
good for my balance. But
yeah,
I got a little kick every time I bought something. I think it was maybe subconsciously trying to be a new
potentially,
me, or
but it's
I don't know.
the difference in how we coped, I think, really emphasizes how self-love and self-validation is much more important than trying to seek validation and love from somebody else, because ultimately if you put all that power in somebody else's hands, they've got the power to take it away again. Whereas if we validate ourselves
Yeah,
with nice dresses, new hairdos, whatever it is that makes us feel good about ourselves, nobody can take that away from us. So moving forward into
right.
other relationships, we've got a better grounding going
Mm.
forwards, I think.
Yeah. Well, one of the best things, the healthiest things that I did was start strength training, which I hadn't ever done before. I'd only done cardio, I'd only done running really. And I was really nervous. I went to the gym, I felt really self-conscious. I thought, God, it's going to be full of fit people. And, you know, but actually it was an amazing gym, and it was so friendly, and there was absolutely no judgment of anybody's fitness or anyone's ability. And I became really like keen on the weightlifting and all that kind of stuff. And I found that um, as I grew physically stronger,
Yeah,
so I was getting mentally stronger as well. And it had a really positive impact, because I've got 3 boys, and so they were getting into that as well. So it was something I could do with them. We used to do training sessions
yeah,
together at the gym or in the garden. So it was a lovely bonding activity, but also it just made me feel
yes,
like
yeah,
I had
yeah.
more control again.
I agree. I did strength training too. Um, and
Mm,
it sort of empowered me a little bit. The things I could
yeah,
suddenly lift that I might have asked my husband to do, and picking the children up, giving them a
yeah,
hug, things that I probably struggled
yes,
a bit with, I could suddenly do. And as well as that, it helps a lot with the physical symptoms, because exercise releases
yes,
endorphins, doesn't it? So you've got that chemical boost, but you're also strengthening your joints and your muscles, and it's putting you in a really good position moving forwards. So I love that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think, talking of the children, the other thing I found was that, because I didn't have them all the time, which was a big shock for me, you know, for the first time ever. When I did have them, I I wasn't sweating on the small stuff so much. I was probably more relaxed as a mum, and
Yeah.
it was a bit more all about the fun. Um, so I remember one time for work, I was doing this thing where you had to be styled by your child, and whereas before I might have possibly kind of controlled it a little bit, I literally, this time, I just opened my cupboard doors. I said, fill your boots. They turned everything upside down. I mean, everything. It was just carnage. But they had so much fun. I had so much fun, and we laughed and took photos. And I look back at those photos now, and it was only maybe a couple of months after my husband left, and it was a really happy memory, even in that bad
Yeah.
time, because I just
And
let
I
it all
think
go.
part of what causes those physical symptoms is the worry for our children. That we're carrying
Yeah.
our own pain, but we're carrying their pain. So if we see them happy, that has that therapeutic impact. I've definitely been more relaxed
Yes.
with my children. I was very strict on bedtime routines and that sort of thing. And it seems
Yeah.
to be that my children, if they want to talk, it's always after bedtime. So in the past, they've been like, this is, come on, we're putting off bedtime. This is a delay tactic. But actually, I just think when they're tucked up
Yes.
in bed, they feel safe and that is their time to talk. So now I'm more than happy to allow that. So I am a lot more laid back. We do have a lot of fun because you cherish that time with them because you know that at the
Yes.
weekend they might be with the dad. So yeah, I think you do cherish that time and that helps a lot with the physical symptoms, just letting go of the stress that you don't need to feel.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
And laughing. Yeah. And
I've
singing.
heard your singing, Caroline. Would you like to share?
No, honestly, I made a playlist with my kids and we called it the happiness playlist, and we put it on in the car. We were going down to Devon, so it was a long journey, and you know, and I was playing it this morning actually, and it just makes me smile because it's we all chose the songs, and I was really surprised at some of the songs they chose, and it was just lovely. But now I'm just, if I'm in the car or in the shower and no one can hear me, and I don't care about anything other than just singing cheesy
Yeah.
songs, it makes me feel so good. It's just like a harmless, and as long as no one else can hear, it's harmless. Thing that just, you know, music really, and singing
Yeah.
make me feel
And
a
again,
lot
coming back to
better.
those healthy coping mechanisms and, you know, if it's something that makes you feel good, do more of it, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah. I think we're almost out
Yeah.
of time, so we might have to wrap this up. It's been absolutely brilliant
Yeah.
to talk to you today, Caroline, and to learn more about your physical symptoms and how you coped with them, which was probably better than my coping mechanisms. But yeah, it's been fantastic.
Oh, don't worry, the bottle banks for me plenty.
Yeah, I hide mine in the garage. But yeah, I think, you know, there are plenty of things we can do to alleviate those symptoms that are healthy and promote moving forward and promote
Yeah.
self-growth rather than just putting off the inevitable and delaying that pain.
Yeah, that's absolutely it.
Yeah,
I think it's just, don't try not to get stuck. Keep moving forward if you possibly can,
yes,
and you
you do.
do then
And I think
get through
that's
it.
the important thing. What you're feeling now is not what you're going to feel 12 months from now unless you let it. There's so much that we can do
Exactly
to
that.
move on and to move forward. So,
Yeah.
right then, well, thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again soon, no doubt.
Pleasure.
You
Yeah,
take care,
absolutely.
everybody. Bye
Speak to you
bye.
soon. Bye.